G'day, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the channel. You've tuned into the Pedal Picassos. But if it is your first time, please hit subscribe, ring the bell, drop a comment in below. Let us know what you think of this, which is it's a comparison of the TC Electronic Combo Deluxe 65, a new acquisition, and something that's been on my board for duo situations for plugging direct into the PA, no amplifier, is the Joyo American. They're both emulations of Fender amplifiers. The TC Electronic is a little more flexible than what the Joyo is, and I'm tossing up whether or not to replace the American on my board with the Combo Deluxe, and it's all based on the tone for me. So I've tried to set them up very similar so that they're sounding the same, and then we can go from there and look at the comparisons. This is the Joyo, and this is the Combo Deluxe TC Electronic. Now I'm going straight into the door. This is an Ibanez Roadster, Steve Lukather model, 1983. This is straight in, flat, no pedal, nothing. So straight out of the box, there's a fair bit of gain added to these. I've got the Seymour Duncan pickups that are here split to single coil. Just so we can have a listen to single coils going in here, and I will punch it into humbucking mode shortly, but I just want to do a comparison between these two. Now, the Joyo's still a little bit beefier, but in order to get to the top end sparkle of the TC Electronics, I've got the tops wound all the way around. This might be bright, but I'm wanting to give you an idea of the amount of top end that's on tap with the TC Electronic. There is a bright switch on the back. I've got that engaged. There is a tone pot, which is also global for the reverb, which is another feature that the Joyo doesn't have. So it's got a reverb, which is a 4 second emulation. It's an IR, it's an impulse response. The Combo Deluxe also has a Celestion impulse response as part of its output for the DI. There's two outputs for this, so you can go output into an amp without the Celestion impulse response emulation. And you can also go the DI with the impulse response. The Joyo doesn't have that. It's just got a built-in voice characteristic, which hints at having a speaker cabinet. So, between the two, already the Joyo is a bit boxier, and I would normally have the voice, and this is the different characteristic that doesn't appear on the TC Electronics. You've got everything else. You've got a tone stack, which is low, mid, and high. You've got level and gain, but you have a voice on here. Now on the Joyo, it's to take us from, say, twin territory round to deluxe stuff, round to more modern supersonic stuff. So you can get a real mid-rangey bark, and I like that. And that's generally how I have it set on my board. So this is going to be a big factor in as to whether the Combo Deluxe 65 is going to replace this one. A couple of other features as well. Okay. The TC Electronic gives you switchable reverb. So you can have the reverb out. You can have it in. I've got it fairly wet, saturated. There's maximum. And there's back to minimum. or not minimum, but subtle. As I said, you do have a tone control for the reverb, which is global. It's at the back of the pedal. I've got it rolled off, so there's not so much top end with your reverb at all. Now, as I said, you can switch that in, switch that out. 2 modes. This is on-off mode, but you can go into twin channel mode with the Combo Deluxe. So press both pedals, you get flashing red lights. We now get red channel, which is a hotter channel, and you get to store your settings, and they're not global. They will store and save per channel. So back to my first setting for the clean channel, and then you can have a hot channel. And then reverb, if you wish. So you can have this set up as a twin channel amp, and on the fly, go from your clean to your dirty channel with reverb. Now, if it were that simple, it'd be great, but there's a definite lag between switching. That's not even, sub 10 milliseconds. That is a huge delay. You would want to be thinking about how you were setting this up, and it would be for global patches, I would suggest, and that you wouldn't be doing that mid-song. And if you did, you'd have to have a pause before you actually started playing again. All right, but it does give you that option. There's one thing that I'm not too fussed with, or doesn't please me on Deluxe amps and some Tweed amps, is that their bottom end, their bass response is very flabby and farty. And particularly when you've got the gain up, it's not that tight. And you've got to generally back off the bass response there just to get rid of that frequency that's just is really fuzzy and farty. One thing that I do like with the American, and I'll go back to single channel mode so I can turn this pedal off and just engage the American. Is that you can really get rid of that bottom end nasty flab purely with this voice setting. If you go back and put the voice back around left of 12 o'clock, there's where that flabby bottom end sort of happens when you're putting the gain up, and it's still not too bad on the American. Bring the voice back round. All the way round. I'll go back into humbucking mode. Matt, who's producing this, is banging on about me having noisy single coils. So in humbucking mode. So you can really turn the Joyo pedal into something else, indeed. Now that then gets into a distorted Marshall Vox territory. the Combo Deluxe cannot get that tone. I will do my best to go to the dirty channel and see what we can do as far as a mid-range rock tone. Now, that's getting somewhere close. But what I've had to do is roll the bass right off. The tops are right off as well. And my mids are almost all the way up. I'll just do that again because I'm in two-channel mode, so I can't turn the TC electronic off and demonstrate the Joyo until I go back into single-channel mode and turn off the 65. All right. So that's getting close. Back to single-channel mode, turn off, and engage. Mids, gain. Yeah, it's close enough for me. Now, that probably tells me that how I would set this guy up is with the red channel and clean it up. This is how I have the American set. And I've got other gain pedals in front of it. So I'll have a blues breaker style pedal and a tube screamer and then some other kind of clean gain, clean boost. So I've got 3 to 4 stages of gain that I'll pump into something. So when I set it up as an amp, I'll set it fairly clean. Edge of breakup stuff. And now that's still got more tops with the tops rolled right off. So I'll switch out the bright switch. And that is very close. American's still a bit cleaner. And its voice is still a little bit more mid-rangey, you know? Very close. Now, toss-up is now putting this with pedals, putting the Combo Deluxe 65 with other gain pedals to see if it works the way I want it. I will do another video that does that. At this stage, it's offering me a couple of things that the Joyo doesn't or can't, and that is channel switching, reverb, and the ability to have your channel settings stored. So at this stage, it's looking like it is a contender to replace the Joyo on the board. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you've got one of these or something similar or something different, let us know. And thanks, and we'll catch up with you soon.